The situation is not the problem in the boat, because the boat is designed to float as long as the situation on the outside doesn't get on the inside. The boats only sink when the situation on the outside has gotten on the inside. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can walk through Hell's Kitchen, it doesn't even bother you at all. But the moment it starts to get in you, you are only drowning because the life around you has now gotten in you. It's in your conversation, it's in your speech, it's in your thought life, it's in your attitude. And that's the first sign of going down. When you allow the things outside to get on the inside, you begin to go down. People who ride on top of the storms do it because they can float through it without allowing it to get in them. Oh, you can go through, I don't care if it's a recession, I don't care if it's a depression. There are people who became millionaires in the middle of a depression because they didn't allow the news on the outside to affect their thought life on the inside. When the things on the outside get down inside of you, you begin to go down. How do I keep it out? I'm glad you asked. You don't want to associate, become tied up with, become intricately involved with people who penetrate your pitch. Negative, doubtful, fearful, bad news boys who keep coming in your life. Child, you better watch out. If I was you, I wouldn't do that. You ought to be scared. You got to use common sense. All of those people begin to leave holes in your faith. Watch what I'm telling you. When they leave you, I don't care how much faith you got. When they leave you, you say, well, I don't know. I don't know. You want to be with people that build you up and strengthen you and fortify you and encourage you so you can go through it without it going through you.
I was reading a book on forgiveness, and they had a line in there that says, forgive and grow. I had to let that luggage go. You see, your mind is you know, when you go into a service station to get gas, you don't go in there and just start pumping. When you push the lever up, it clears the previous bill. By the same token, if you want to begin to move, you've got to clear your mind of all the unnecessary luggage and baggage that's weighing us down. I couldn't move, I couldn't think about what am I going to do to get out of this situation, because I was so concerned about what happened and what he did to me and how bad it was. I was so stuck in that I couldn't even focus on what I should have done. Feeling sorry for myself and angry, and none of that was taking me anywhere. So pretty soon I learned through effort, made a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. I had to let it go. I had to forgive it. Let it go and begin to focus on developing myself. And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? Amen. What are you going to do now, Les? Huh? How long are you going to tell everybody at the bus stop and anybody who would stand and listen to you? How long are you going to repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? How many times do we have to hear that? Don't go around telling people what your story is. Everybody has a story. 80% don't care and 20% glad it's you. They say, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. Sometimes you think you got some problem. You hear somebody else's problem, and if their problem is real bad, it makes you feel good. Am I right? All right. So I had to let that go. All of us got stories to tell. Chicken Man allowed his tragedy to destroy his life. All of us have experienced some tragedy, and if we haven't, we will. And you can either let it destroy your life, or you can build upon it. You can permit it to let it hold you down, or you can decide, I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm bigger than this. Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all-out war that you're going to get out of this rut. I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. They just are not going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen. Murphy's Law will be knocking at your door. Why? I don't know why. That's called life. And you have to deal with it. Sometimes your life will be in a slump, just like sports. Some of the best shooters can't hit baskets different times in games. They get in a slump. Do they sit on the sideline and say, you know, I just didn't hit a basket today? No, they continue to execute. I suggest to you that if you are facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself from the situation. Continue to move. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Repeat after me. Help somebody. And help yourself. Because what you give is what you get. Find somebody that you can help so you can forget about you for a moment. See, sometimes the best thing to do is to be. Sometimes you have to just back up and go within yourself. A bow and arrow, you can't take a bow and just push it out an arrow. You just can't push the arrow out. You have to pull it back and then release it. Sometimes you have to back up and go within and pray and meditate and recharge your batteries. Go away, clear your head, and then come back and look at it from a different vantage point.
And if you're having one of those dark days, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel that darkness.
If I start crying, I don't think I'll ever stop.
If you're going through a divorce right now, if you're going through a financial problem right now, if you're going through an illness right now, if you are going through any form of crisis right now, I know you might not even want to get out of bed in the morning. It might be that bad. Please remember this: crisis comes to serve the person who wants to use it as fuel. And you have a choice. You can be a victim and you can let it break you, or you can actually ask yourself, how can I use this time in darkness, which will not last, because you know this, dark times never last. The real question is, how can I leverage the pain? How can I leverage the darkness? How can I leverage the heartbreak so it grows me, so it makes me stronger, so it makes me wiser, so it allows me to tap into the greatest of virtues of humanity.
Pain is always there because life is freaking painful, okay? But suffering is a choice.
And if you've got in your mind that you think that people don't understand, that's okay. They don't. But you do. You know darkness. You know evil. But more important than that, you know good. You know light. And you know laughter and love better than anyone.
I remember the past and I learn from it. I rejoice and celebrate in the present, and I reimagine the future. If you are victimized by your thoughts, you're victimized by your past. I use memories, but I do not allow memories to use me.
The first thing is to recognize that what's happening is not a punishment, that it's actually an opportunity. What most people do is pretend that it's not there, pretend that it doesn't exist, or try and do something to avoid feeling it. Please trust that it is leading you to something greater, and know that.
Use your pain as an instrument for your greatest growth.
So, embrace that darkness.
And in those moments then, when you can actually just embrace it and accept it, 5 years from now and 10 years from now, when you look back on it, you'll see it as a pivotal moment in your development.
Own it. Don't look away from it. Don't bury it in booze or in pills. Live your life. Embrace your life. With physical activity and with nature and with jujitsu and with sun and with laughter and guitar and good memories and creativity and discipline. Discipline yourself so you can free yourself and move forward into the future.
Because you know, as you're going through a difficult time right now, I promise you, I assure you, the clouds will lift. Right? There is sunlight above the clouds. You're just looking at the clouds right now. And they will lift, and crisis has come to teach you the big lesson you're meant to learn to move to your next level in the next chapter of your greatest life. There is an invisible hand at play, whether you feel it or not. And maybe I am the servant of information to remind you in this moment right now, what you're experiencing doesn't feel good, but it is good. Please remember that you are built to shine. Great things are coming your way. You are not average. The darkness will pass. World class is coming, and you are meant to fly.
In life, you will run across disappointments. You sure will. You'll run across things that happen in your life that are so wrong. But I have a little saying. In the end, everything will be okay. And if it's not okay, it's not the end.